The Chocolate Waterfall Adventure. Once upon a time, in a small town surrounded by green hills, there lived a cheerful boy named Max and his curious little sister, Sophie. They loved exploring the forest near their home, especially on warm afternoons when the birds sang and the wind carried the smell of flowers. One sunny morning, Max packed a backpack with sandwiches, an apple juice box, and a magnifying glass. Sophie, who was younger but always full of energy, put on her favorite red hat and followed him. "Let's explore the woods today," Max said. "Maybe we'll find something new." The forest was peaceful, filled with tall trees and buzzing bees. But as they walked deeper, they heard something unusual, like rushing water, but thicker and sweeter somehow. Sophie stopped. "Do you hear that, Max? It doesn't sound like a normal river." Max tilted his head. "You're right. Let's find out." They followed the sound through the trees until the forest opened into a hidden valley. What they saw took their breath away. Right in front of them, a magnificent waterfall flowed not with water, but with chocolate. Thick, shiny, delicious-looking chocolate poured down from a cliff, splashing into a pool below. The air smelled like cocoa, and little puffs of steam rose into the sky. Sophie's eyes grew wide. "A chocolate waterfall. It's real. I thought those only existed in stories." Max grinned. "This is amazing. But how is it possible?" As they stepped closer, a small figure appeared from behind a candy cane rock. It was a tiny creature, no taller than Sophie's knee. It had caramel skin, peppermint buttons, and a hat shaped like a cookie. "Welcome, travelers," the little creature said with a bow. "I am Drizzle, guardian of the Chocolate Waterfall." "Hello," Sophie said excitedly. "Is this really chocolate?" "Of course," Drizzle said proudly. "This waterfall is the heart of Sweet Valley. It makes sure the land stays happy and full of candy. But lately, something strange has been happening." Max looked serious. "What's wrong?" Drizzle's peppermint buttons rattled as he sighed. "The chocolate is starting to slow down. Soon, the waterfall might stop flowing. If that happens, the sweetness of the valley will fade away." Sophie gasped. "That would be terrible. Can we help?" Drizzle's candy eyes sparkled. "Yes, to keep the waterfall flowing. You must travel up the mountain and find the golden cocoa bean. Only its magic can keep the chocolate running forever." Max puffed out his chest. "We'll do it, right, Sophie?" Sophie nodded bravely. "Let's save the chocolate waterfall." Drizzle guided them to a path made of crunchy wafer stones. The trail wound up the mountain, with candy cane railings to hold on to. Along the way, they passed fields of jelly bean flowers, glowing like little lanterns in the sunlight. At one point, they reached the gummy bear forest. Giant gummy bears, soft and wobbly, wandered happily between the trees. One of them blocked the path, humming a tune. "How do we get past?" Sophie whispered. Drizzle chuckled. "Gummy bears love music. Sing them a happy song, and they'll let you through." So Max and Sophie sang their favorite song about rainbows and stars. The gummy bear swayed happily, then stepped aside with a cheerful jiggle. "See," Sophie laughed. "That wasn't so hard." Farther up the mountain, they came to a wide gap. Across the gap stretched a bridge made entirely of giant chocolate chip cookies tied together with licorice ropes. The bridge wobbled in the wind. Max looked nervous. "Do you think it's safe?" Drizzle nodded. "It's safe if you trust your steps. But be careful not to nibble on the cookies while crossing." Sophie giggled. "Don't worry, I won't eat the bridge." They held hands and carefully crossed. The cookies creaked, but they made it safely to the other side. Sophie couldn't resist licking her fingers. Just a little chocolate crumb had stuck to her hand. At last, they reached a cave glowing with golden light. Inside, the walls were lined with giant marshmallows. The air was warm and soft, like being wrapped in a blanket. In the center of the cave, on a pedestal made of spun sugar, rested the golden cocoa bean. It sparkled brighter than the sun. But before Max could pick it up, the ground rumbled. Out popped a creature made of sour candy, with sharp lemon-drop teeth and eyes like sour green apples. "Who dares take the golden cocoa bean?" it growled. Max stood tall. "We need it to save the chocolate waterfall." The sour creature snarled. "Sweetness makes me weak. I want everything sour and bitter." Sophie stepped forward bravely. "But everyone likes sweetness too. Can't we share the world? Sweet and sour can both exist." The creature blinked. "Share? No one ever offered me that before." She held out a marshmallow from the cave. "Try it. Maybe you'll like it." The creature sniffed it, then carefully took a bite. His sour face softened, and his lemon-drop teeth melted into caramel. "It's delicious. Maybe sweetness isn't so bad after all." With a smile, he stepped aside. "Take the bean. Save your waterfall." Max picked up the golden cocoa bean, and the cave filled with glowing light. When they carried it back to the waterfall, the chocolate began to flow faster and brighter than before, splashing joyfully into the pool below. Drizzle danced happily. "You did it. The chocolate waterfall is safe." The chocolate sparkled as it flowed, and the air smelled even richer. Flowers of cocoa sprouted around the valley, and the gummy bears sang joyful songs. Queen Caramella, ruler of Sweet Valley, appeared in a gown made of caramel ribbons. "Max and Sophie," she said kindly, "you have saved our land. As a gift, take these." She handed them 2 small jars filled with never-ending chocolate drops. "Whenever you need sweetness, just open the jar." Max and Sophie bowed. "Thank you, Your Majesty." With a wave of her caramel wand, the children found themselves back at the forest edge, standing in their village once again. The chocolate waterfall sparkled faintly in the distance, hidden but safe. Sophie hugged her jar tightly. "That was the best adventure ever." Max smiled. "And now we know even magical chocolate tastes best when it's shared." And from that day on, Max and Sophie always remembered their sweet adventure at the chocolate waterfall. The end.